What is going on, everybody? It's Destiny Malibu and my co-host,
DJ Dezzee.
We are so excited to be back with y'all this week with another topic about mental health.
Yep.
So today's topic, we are going to be discussing how to overcome jealousy.
Ooh, that's a big one. That's hard.
This is a big one.
It's tough.
This is a big one. And, I think jealousy affects everyone's lives in a different way. There are different types of jealousy, different degrees of jealousy. And I think it's important to identify within ourselves what we're experiencing when we have that emotion.
Right. And mental health is a lot about asking yourself the question, why do I feel the way I feel?
Yes, absolutely.
And jealousy comes about out of nowhere. Sometimes you're like, whoa, why do I feel that way?
Right. Jealousy can happen in different ways. You might look at someone extremely attractive and go, man, I don't like them because of jealousy. Or maybe you're in a relationship and there is somebody that is close with your partner that makes you feel uncomfortable. There's so many different ways that jealousy can take hold. And I want to first start by saying that jealousy is not necessarily a bad emotion. It is a signal of something that we need to analyze.
Right. Because a lot of times it comes from a place of, a lot of people say jealousy comes from insecurity.
Mm-hmm. I think that in some ways that's true, and I think in other ways it's not.
Even if it does come from insecurity, recognizing that jealousy is happening, you can either fix the situation you're in,
right,
or avoid the thing that's making you jealous.
Right. Jealousy, it's a very natural emotion, and we even see it in animals. Mm-hmm. So it's not something that we should shame each other for or shame ourselves for. Even, our pets, for example, if you guys follow me on social media, my little baby Halo passed away in the last few weeks, and that has been extremely difficult. Very, very difficult. I had him for 19 years.
Yeah.
So he has been in my life for forever. But, speaking of this topic, Nike, our dog, would play and stuff. If we were giving attention to Halo, then Nike would immediately get in our face, and you could tell that he was super jealous.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when Halo was a little puppy that sometimes if we would give each other a hug or kiss each other or something, that he would get jealous and maybe growl a little bit or something like that. So jealousy even exists in the animal kingdom. So don't, beat yourself up if you're feeling this emotion or shame yourself or shame each other. But when this emotion comes up, ask yourself, why? Mm-hmm. Why am I feeling this way? Right. For example, I want to say that, if you're in a relationship and you're feeling jealous about somebody that you feel could be a threat to your relationship, I think that's a moment to ask yourself, am I actually feeling insecure and less than this person? Or is my partner not making me feel safe? Is my partner interacting with this person in a way that is making me uncomfortable? And maybe this is something I need to discuss with my partner.
Right.
Or is this person actually acting inappropriately with your partner or with you? And maybe this is a person you need to create a little distance with. Because we all have different boundaries. We all have different things that we are okay with or not okay with. And especially in relationships, it's really important to find a partner that you are on the same page with how to handle situations like that.
Right.
Because the truth of the matter is, and this is something that a concept that Desiree and I were brought up with, which is the idea that there's always going to be someone prettier, smarter, younger, more intelligent, stronger, you name it. There's always going to be someone on paper who's better at something than you. Well, the only thing you are called to do is be the best version of yourself.
Right.
But it's really important to find a partner who you are, this is so important, this keyword, compatible. Compatibility is everything in a relationship, because if you are in a relationship with somebody who, let's say you're in a heterosexual relationship with someone and your boyfriend has a lot of female friends. For some people and some girlfriends, that wouldn't bother them at all. For some women, that might make you uncomfortable. Or maybe you are someone who thinks that if you go out, to a club or to a party or whatever, that maybe you go to those events together. Maybe the other person doesn't want to go to those events together. So it's really important, if you are feeling a sense of jealousy, to first of all communicate with your partner. And then maybe this is a signal that maybe if you guys want to handle things differently, maybe this is a sign of incompatibility. Right. Because there are partners who, like to go out separate with each other and don't worry about and love it. And there are partners who, when they hang out with friends, they like to hang out in groups together.
Right.
And both can work, and neither one is wrong, but it is finding someone that you are compatible with, that you share the same values, which is going to make your life so much better.
Right. So basically, jealousy doesn't just happen in relationships. It happens in just like what you're doing in life too, as a single person. Like, oh, that person has a better job than me, or that person's more fit than me. Like, all these things. But it's important to recognize what it is that you maybe want and strive to be that best version of yourself in that area.
Absolutely. And I will say that a different form of jealousy, subconscious competitive jealousy. Maybe it has nothing to do with a partner and you're single or whatever, and you see somebody really beautiful or really attractive or whatever, and you instantly just feel like this knot in your stomach and anger, which usually is jealousy speaking. And how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that emotion? Because I don't think anyone enjoys feeling jealous.
No.
So how do you deal with that emotion when it comes up? Does that mean that you're insecure? Does that mean that you need to work on self-love? What does this emotion mean? And something that has really helped me in my life, Desiree and I, we went to Malibu High School, and we were around some incredibly beautiful people. We literally went to school with Gigi Hadid, Bella Hadid, and Millie and Becky Russo, and a lot of different extremely beautiful women. And growing up, it can be a little bit of a learning curve to not compare yourself, right? To not see somebody beautiful and question your own worth. And I do think that a portion of that has a lot to do with building so much self-love and so much self-confidence that you realize life is not about comparing yourself, and that the concept of, a sunset and a flower look nothing alike, but they're equally beautiful. Those are really important concepts. And what I have found, because there's mental tricks that you can do for yourself, right? So if you ever find yourself feeling that knot in your stomach, right? Something that you can do is, instead of interpreting that jealousy as this negative feeling, recognize the feeling you're having, and then work to turn that feeling into admiration and inspiration.
Nice. I like that.
So, and I do a similar thing when I am performing, right? So when I'm doing a concert, when I'm doing a show, if I'm feeling really nervous, I tell myself, and I channel that nervousness into excitement. When my hands are getting a little tingly or I'm feeling a little shaky and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel nervous. Instead of saying to myself, I feel nervous, which only makes things worse, I recognize the emotion that I'm feeling in my body and I say, I'm excited. This is a sign that my body is excited, because nervousness and excitement feel almost the same sensation physically. So if you can train your brain to interpret the sensation differently, that can really, really, really benefit your life. And similarly, when you're dealing with jealousy, if you're looking at somebody and you're feeling that knot in your stomach, look at them and recognize what it is that you think is amazing about them. If you think that they have a, great personality or a great body, or you love how they did their hair or whatever that is, look at that and tell yourself, wow, I am inspired by this. I am inspired by this person's level of excellence, whatever it is, and I want to work on bettering myself in that area.
Right.
And when you see somebody who has incredible sense of fashion, there's a bunch of women that I follow that I just love their fashion. And, you could have one approach. You could see women posting outfits and be like, oh my gosh, I wish I looked like that, I'm jealous. Or you could go, wow, I love that outfit, I love how they did their hair, and be inspired by what you're seeing.
Right.
And so I think that's a really, really, really powerful way to overcome jealousy. You know, as an artist, when I see another artist perform and I think that they're incredible, I am inspired.
Yeah.
I wasn't always that way when I was a little kid because, again, everything in mental health is a learning curve.
Right.
And when I was younger, maybe if I saw someone amazing, I would doubt myself and be like, am I good enough? You know? But now as an adult, recognizing, you know, self-worth and put so much work into self-love, I now apply that concept to everything. When I see somebody who's talented, I'm like, wow, like, I just want to grab my guitar now. Like, I'm so inspired by this person's talent. Be inspired by people's beauty and talents and celebrate each other, because one person's success does not mean your failure.
Totally. I mean, it's nice to be appreciative of everyone's, you know, positives and their success and their beauty, and to build each other up. You don't want to attack people, and jealousy will tend to lead us to attack the other person and be like, try to put them down, make them feel less. But again, if you're reframing and using it as inspiration, be like, wow, how did you do that? Like, that's so cool. Mm-hmm. And learning from the other person, possibly, if that opportunity presents itself.
Yes. So another thing that I think is really important when you're maybe grappling with this emotion of jealousy is to also, like, take a moment to focus on your strengths. Because we all have different strengths, right?
Right. Totally. We're all different.
Yeah. Someone might be really beautiful. Another person might be really funny. Or one person might be amazing at, communication. Another person might be really great at math, you know.
Or Destiny's a really good talker and I'm a really good listener.
Yeah, whatever your strength is, remind yourself in moments of self-doubt or jealousy or whatever is going on within yourself to focus about what all the beautiful things that you as an individual bring to the table.
Right.
Because if you're sitting there focusing like on your weaknesses and how much better other people seem to be than you, that is a recipe for
disaster.
Yeah, disaster, for unhappiness. So it's really important, again, this concept of like reframing and focusing on your strengths.
And being grateful for your strengths and working towards bettering yourself every day. Because the more confident you feel in yourself, the less jealous you're going to be, and you're creating a better life and a better version for yourself. And what better way is to take something negative and turn it into something positive?
Anytime that you are feeling jealousy moving forward, remember to try and turn jealousy to the best of your ability into admiration and inspiration. Okay? And remember that as this emotion comes up, take a moment and ask yourself,
why?
Why am I feeling this way? If it's a romantic relationship, is my partner making me uncomfortable? Is this person making me uncomfortable? Or do I need to work on some trust issues? You know, there's so many things that you can explore. Do you maybe need to reevaluate if you and your partner are compatible and if you're comfortable with the same things? There's so many things to be analyzed, and it's such a beautiful opportunity to get to know yourself when these emotions come up. So these emotions really are a blessing, because it's an opportunity for you to explore your own inner world and the whys of what you are feeling physically, right? Remember to ask yourself why and communicate. Communication is so important. And get to know yourself. Get to know yourself why you're feeling, because once you get to the source of the issue, then you can adjust.
Yeah.
Accordingly.
That makes me want to go into an episode about communication. It's important to communicate.
Yes, that is a good one. I love communication, obviously. Okay, so that is it for today's episode. We hope that these tips have been helpful for you guys. We love you so much, and we can't wait to see you on the next episode.
And if you have any questions or topics you want to talk about, please go to askdestinymalibu.com, submit your voice memo, and we will address it on one of our future episodes. And we're going to end our episode with the Destiny Malibu podcast mantra.
Yes, so if you know the mantra, say it with us. And if you don't, then I hope you learn it so you can say it with us on the next episode. It is, if you hate me, I love you. If you love me, I love you even more. You are not alone, and we are in this together. We love you guys so much, and thanks for being a part of our family, our community, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.